Shalom, all praises go to the Most High Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua Ba'Shem Adawach Kodash the belong their son to the elder apostles and great milestone for the teachings of the scriptures among other things. Shalom to the sincere Agam across the world. Now I wanted to do a video because I was reading a few things and then I came across in the Maccabees, and also I was writing a few things too, talking about the house Negroes and stuff like that, because I said, like, what has a house Negro actually got? What did they get from all these centuries of selling out? What did they get? Like, did their descendants get anything? You know, like a status or a rank or a secure place within the kingdoms of the people that they sold themselves onto? You know, they didn't. There's no case, well, that we can show, I should say that, of a sellout Jacob descendant that got a benefit for his descendants, right? Second Maccabees, this is the future of all sellouts of the Israelites. Second Maccabees 5 and 6. But Jason, the Israelite, slew his own citizens without mercy, not considering that to get the day of them, of his own nation, would be a most unhappy day for him. People that are of our nation that fight against ours, I wanted to say ourselves, that fight against ourselves, you have no idea what's going to happen to you. Because the people that you're fighting for, they're going to turn on you once that time comes, because the Heavenly Father is going to put their spirit on them. And loose from that, they're just using you. But yeah, I'm not trying to convince you. I'm trying to show others that look, the scriptures is written for our comfort. It's very irritating when you see a house Negro, and you can't put him where he's supposed to be. You put him at rest, but you can't do that. So the scriptures comforts us just to let us know, like, don't worry about it. He's gonna get his. So that's the beauty of the scriptures, because it is the comforter. But thinking they had been his enemies, and not his countrymen, whom he conquered. Because when they're fighting against themselves, against us, I should say, against their selves, whatever, they're actually thinking like they're doing something good. You know, like a Stacey Dash or a Candace Owens. There's many more, like Jason Whitlock. There's many more of them. Anyway. Howbeit, for all this he obtained not the principality, but at the last received shame for the reward of his treason. You are a treasonous beast if you come against your own. And this is not just regular your own. These are the chosen people of the Heavenly Father that you chose to go against being a part of. And some of them are tear babies in our midst and stuff like that, but loose from them. Because in the beginning, when the Israelites was selling out themselves, those were Israelites, man. Those were not no tear babies. You know, those were 100% thick Israelites. Thick blood Israelites. First Samuel chapter 14 shows you that too. In the time of Saul, you had house Negroes right there. In the time of that joined the Philistines. In the time of, let me see, Judith. In the time of Judith, you had some house Negroes too. You know, of the tribe of Ephraim in this case, because the other case it was just Judites and stuff, just other tribes. But in this case specifically, Ephraim was mentioned in Judith chapter 6. Anyway, so it says right here, howbeit, for all this he obtained, okay, ready with that? And fled again into the country of the Ammonites, which are, Japanese. In the end thereof, therefore, he had an unhappy return, because, being accused before Aretas, the king of the Ishmaelites, the Arabians, fleeing from city to city, pursuit of all men, hated as a forsaker of the laws. So, what laws? The laws of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, Now, who is hating them? The heathen nations? Because they themselves said in the book of Esther, these people have the most just laws. And even from that you flee. Well, we're going to make you be at unrest. And being had an abomination as an open enemy of his countrymen. Wow, what is this? What the fuck? Of his country and countrymen, he was cast out into Mizraim. Thus he that had driven many out of their country perished in a strange land, retiring to the Lacedemonians, which are the brothers to the Spartans. And Lacedemonians are Israelites. So the brothers of the Lacedemonians, Spartans, are Israelites too. And thinking there to find succour by reason of his kindred, because it was family members of them too, this like tribe and stuff like that. Well, nation, I should say. But he wanted to find security in them, because he's like, but we're family though. You know, we came from the same nation, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, remember? But he sold out his whole nation. But the only reason he did that is because the other people started to reject him after it was done. After they won. You know, they won over the nation, but they used his help. Because he was like not the only one, but in this case, he was the only one that could help them beat the nation of Jacob. And he that had cast out many, unburied, had none to mourn for him, nor any solemn funerals at all, nor sepulchre with his fathers. The book of Maccabees. Now this was 2 Maccabees chapter 5 verse 6 until verse 10. Judah Maccabees, right? But it is known to be Judas Maccabees in the world, but the word Judas goes back to Judah. Shaken, not stirred. I was just playing around. The name is Maccabees. Judah Maccabees. Shaken, not stirred. The word Maccabees means hammer, or it goes back to hammer, I should say. What? Oh, I think I already clicked. Okay, anyway. I think I already posted it. Now it says here, because of how Judah was in battle, hammer smash you, boom. This is why until this day, in 2026 AD, they celebrate their victory over the Moors that ruled Europe with an iron fist and boot in the faces and necks of the people. All the way. Oh, wow. All the way up to Iran, we whooped their asses. But wait. Right, so all the way from here, actually this whole region over here, actually, even Sicilia, they call it Sicily, and Malta, like you could say here, within this little so-called circle that I just made right there. And our people didn't stay here, because our people went to Mizraim also. So don't forget that part. And they went here too. So it's all over the place. I mean, you know how travelers are, traveling people. You know how people are. They travel from place to place, but the bulk of them was here. Right. And then I had something else. Oh yeah, here. The Maccabees, right? Etymology. So I looked up this word in Wikipedia etymology. So it says the name Maccabees is often as a synonymous synonym, I don't know what it means, for an entire Hasmonean dynasty, but the Maccabees often and more narrowly refers to Judah Maccabees and his 4 brothers. The name Maccabees was a personal epithet of Judah. I didn't know what this word meant. Like, I'm not very interested. I should be. Don't be ignorant of small things. But I didn't look that one up. I looked this one up because I didn't know what it was, and I found out today. Which day is it? 22 February, April. Sorry, February. 22 April. I just found out today. I didn't know. So I looked up this word epithet definition, right? Epithet. Okay. I couldn't find the normal thing here, so I then, of course, went down here, and it says a characterizing word or phrase accompanying or occurring in place of the name of a person or thing. I still didn't know what that means. So I thought of something. So I thought of Jerubbaal. Because that's what I thought. I got an idea off of... Look, I read this and then I started thinking like, what is... I don't know. Then I started thinking. So I asked the software. Gideon, his nickname, is an epithet. Jerubbaal. Yes, Jerubbaal is considered an epithet. I don't know how you pronounce that. Or nickname for Gideon in the Bible. That's all I needed to know. So now I understand what this word epithet means. Don't know. Epithet? Epithet. Appetite. It's epithet. Epithet. Right, that thing. So anyway, so it says here Maccabees is an, I wanted to say another word, but it's like a, damn, there's another word for it. Another word for it. It's synonymous with, it's a nickname. Yeah. A pseudonym. Like some kind of fake name or something like that. Right? Synonym. Okay, a nickname basically. Right, so yeah. So okay, it was a nickname, okay? So going on, now it says right here. One explanation of the name's origin is that it is derived from the Aramaic Makeba, the hammer, in recognition of Judah's ferocity in battle. Okay, I'm not trusting this one too much. As soon as I see traditional Amalek, I don't take it that serious. But I looked it up too, so I'm gonna get to that later here. But it said right here is that Maccabees, Hebrew, Maccabayam. It doesn't say that here, but it's here. Maccabayam is an acronym for the Torah verse that was the battle cry of the Maccabees. I don't know about this. So further, I'm a little bit skeptical. Only the upper part I kind of like. So I'll just... It's not that, if I don't like something, then I won't believe in it. No. These people make me start questioning it, But anyway, I looked up a few things. So I typed in the word hammer, right? And it comes forth 7 times in the Bible in 6 verses. And it is written... No, let me say it different. It has different words. It is written in different... So in another language is written in different words for the same word in the English. Just like, look. In the English, for example, you have the word bark. Right? But bark is a tree bark. But bark is also a dog and a bark that dog. Sorry, a dog that bark. A dog that barks. Anyway. So it says right here. So this one is Hebrew 4718. Hebrew 4718. Oh yeah, this was it, sorry. 4718. This word hammer. And it says here it said that it was in the Aram language, but it says right here Maccabath. So Maccabath, right? It doesn't say the Maccabayam that he said. Wait, sorry, where was that again? Here. Maccabathiam. Maccabayam. Sorry, I said Bath. I made a mistake. Maccabayam. So it's like this. Yeah, I was looking up some stuff from South India, people and stuff like that. But anyway, it says right here, Maccabayam. So Maccabayam. So then you spell it like this. You write it like this. Maccabayam. So that is what it then therefore means, right? How you write it? So Maccabayam. Maccabayam, yeah, okay. Go back to over here, and then here. So it says here, makwa with a Q. Makwabayath. Oh, sorry. Makwabath. Makwabath. This one. But in the English, it would be then there. Well, it's the so-called Yiddish or something like that. And this is the word that they actually used to refer it to. And then you have, sorry, let me go back over here. Okay, so this is 47:18, and this one is 47:17, which is this one, which says Makwabath again. Makwabath. Makwaba'ah, sorry. I'm kind of not very rusty, but I'm still rusty with it, with the Hebrew. Makwaba'ah. So it says here, Makwaba'ah. Sorry. Makwaba'ah. So then you write Makwabah. That one, Makwabah. And then it's written here, Makwabah. And then the third one is here, hammer, which is 6360. Sorry about that. Yeah, what did I just do? 17? Oh yeah, 47:17, 47:18, which are these two. So 47:18, 47:17, and then this one, 1989. 1989, so it's already spelled different. Halamawath. Halamawath. So it's already spelled different. But it's still a hammer or a mallet. Mallet, I don't know how you say that. Mallet. And then you have the other one, which is Hebrew 6360. This is the last one, by the way, which is also, it begins different also. Mathayash. Mathayash. Right. No? Pata. Yash. So, Patayash. And then you write Patayash. I hope you can see this actually here. But anyway, so this is not it. Now going back to... Now the reason I grabbed this over, let me show it again. The reason I mentioned this is because it says here in the Aramaic. Well, did I say that good? Aramaic. Which is basically the language of our forefather. Abraham and Nahor and Terah and all that there. And then they came into the land of Canaan. And then we started to talk the language of Canaan. But our forefather, look, let me get it for you. In Genesis 22, you had Abraham, his brother, is called Nahor. And Nahor begat all these sons. And the last one of Nahor was Bethuel. Bethuel, verse 23. So Genesis 22:23. And Bethuel begat Rebekah. These 8 Milcah did bear to Nahor, Abraham's brother. So Abraham's brother is named Nahor, and he had 8 sons. And one of the 8 sons was Bethuel. Looked like a woman's name because Esau grabbed it and he made it into a woman's name. Bethany, Bithynia, you know, all these names. Beth, Elizabeth, and stuff like that. He made it into a woman's name. Because when I read it for the first time ever, I thought of a woman. But I know it's a man, but still I thought of a woman, you know. So I understand if other people think the same thing too. Genesis 24:15. And it came to pass, before he had done speaking, that behold, Rebekah came out, who was born to Bethuel, the son of Milcah, the wife of Nahor. So Bethuel is the son of Milcah, and Milcah is the wife of Nahor. And Nahor, Abraham's brother, with her pitcher upon her shoulder. Okay. But here, Genesis 24:3, and I will make thee swear by Yahweh, the power of heaven and the power of earth, that thou shalt not take a wife unto my son Isaac, of the daughters of the Canaanites among whom I dwell, because he was in the land of Canaan, because the Most High told him. Genesis 12:1. Now Yahweh said unto Abram, Get thee out of thy country, the land of Aram, and from thy kindred, from your family members, and from thy father's house, unto the land that I will show thee. And he went into the land of Canaan, but before, sorry, I made a mistake. But before that, he went to Genesis 11, and let me see, here 31. He went from Ur of the Chaldees. Then he went toward the land of Canaan, but he came to Haran and dwelled there with his family. You know, his father, his brother, and their children and stuff like that. His brother's children and all that there. And he took Haran also, which is his brother's son. Sorry, man. He took Lot also, which is his brother Haran's son. And Haran died in a place called Haran, which is funny. But the place is called Haran also. Right. Okay, so then the Most High told him to leave his family and get out of there, and then go to the land of Canaan. So he went there. And then sorry. And then here you have then therefore now the book of Genesis chapter 25. So remember, Bethuel is the father of Rebekah, right? Genesis 25. I have a point of all this, Lord willing. I'll get to show it. Genesis 25 and 20. And when Isaac was 40 years old, he took Rebekah to wife. Rebekah is his uncle's. Okay, let me do it again. His father's brother, which is his uncle. His father's son's daughter. Did I say that right? And look, if I look it up, I might get confused in my head. But yeah, anyway, going on. So Isaac was 40 years old when he took Rebekah to wife. This is family. The daughter of Bethuel, the Syrian of Padan Aram. Is he actually a Syrian? Because the word Syrian, he's not. But people might think it is if I say it like that. They might. What am I doing? They might think that's what I said. That's not what it says, and that's not what I say. Let me see here. Okay. So Genesis 10 and 22. The children of Shem, Elam, and Ashur, which is the Assyrian Empire, and Arphaxad, and Lud, and Aram. If you click on Hebrew 5:7-8, it will tell you that Aram is the Aramaic. Over here says Arameans, but I was referring to that other word, which is mentioned here to be Aramaic, Maccabee, or Maccabees. Okay, so going back to over here. Okay, but the point is, it says here Syria. So this is Aram. The word Syria is Aram. Right. Okay. So okay, back to over here. So is he from the bloodline of Aram? No, he's not. He comes from the bloodline of Arphaxad. Who is that? Genesis chapter 11. So if you go to Genesis 11, you will see now the bloodline of Arphaxad, because in Genesis chapter 10, you see the rest and stuff like that. You know, you see here the children of Shem, Elam, Ashur, which is the Assyrian Empire forefather. That's why I hate this word. Syria and Assyria. I hate those two words. That's why because Esau is a confusion man. But anyway, here's Ashur from Nineveh. Here, Nineveh. And this one is Damascus, Aram. Okay. Nahor is not his bloodline. So he is not from there. Just like how he's not from that bloodline. He's from that region. Sorry. Wait, let me get this. So it says here, Job 1 and 1. There was a man in the land of Uz whose name was Job. Job is an Israelite, but where did he live? Back to Genesis chapter 10, verse 23. And the children of Aram, Uz, and Hul, and Geter, and Mash. So where did Job eventually go and live? He lived in the land of Aram. Just like how you have the land of Canaan. Canaan were there, the descendants of Cain. And the descendants of Uz, well, that man, he went there, had a lot of wives, of course, made children, and that became the land of Uz. Same thing with Mizraim. He went there, and he took that land, and that land was then named the land of Mizraim. But Esau changed it into the land of Egypt. Right. Same thing with Ashur. He went to a region, and then the region was called the land of Ashur. Pardon, sorry. So it went with everybody else. Okay, so not everybody, but a lot of people that happened to. A lot of people it happened to, you know. It happened with a lot of things. Certain places already had a name. So not every name is named after a person. And not every person is named after a place. What did I say? Wait. Not every place is named after a person. And not every person is named after a place. Sometimes people are named after places. And sometimes places are named after people. Right. Okay, so now going back to, where was I? Oh yeah. Genesis chapter 11, verse 11, where it speaks of the bloodline of Arphaxad. Here, Salah. Okay, here come Eber. Now, from Eber, which is here, it says here, and Salah, okay, that begat sons and daughters. Okay, and Eber lived 4 and 30 years, and begat Peleg. This word means divided. If I'm correct, it says it right here. Yeah, Peleg. For in his days the earth was divided. So Peleg means divided. If you look it up in the Hebrew, you're going to find it out. Anyway, so everyone that comes from Eber is an Hebrew. You have millions upon millions of Hebrews outside of the Hebrew Israelites. So again, I'm going to say it again. You have millions upon millions of Hebrews that are outside of the Hebrew Israelites. You have Hebrew Edomites, that's already a few million. You have Hebrew Ishmaelites, that's already a few million. You have Hebrew Ammonites, that's already a few million. You have Hebrew Moabites, those are already a few million. And then you have the others that are not named. Because it says here that Eber, he begot sons and daughters. But, yeah. But the one that is important, here it speaks about Eber. And Eber lived after he got Peleg 430 years and begot sons and daughters. Peleg is the firstborn of Eber. So all the people that came from Eber are Hebrews also, right? But anyway, they don't count. They're like extras in the movie. You just put them up for filter and filling. That's why it says right here also in the book of Numbers. Because Lord willing now, well, I don't know if you know, but when I read it, then now it makes sense because I was like, huh? Because it says right here, Numbers 24, if I'm correct. Yeah, 24 verse 24. And the ship shall come from the coast of Chittim, which is Japheth. Genesis chapter 10 shows you that. Sometimes it's spelled Kittim, and sometimes it's spelled, well, here, let me show you. So then you go to here, Kittim, Genesis 10 and 4 and 3 and 4. The sons of, 3 and 2. So the sons of Japheth. And then one of the sons of Japheth is Japhan. And then Japhan got sons. One of his sons is Tarshish, which, is called as the ships of Tarshish and stuff like that. And the other one is called Kittim. So I'm going to click on Kittim. And you can see Kittim here. And This is also the reason why, one of the reasons, why a lot of these people, so I'm looking for something right here, sorry. Why a lot of these people say that Japheth is actually the white man, Japheth is the white man. You know, stuff like that. Bitch ass niggas say that. But anyway, but they don't know what the hell they're talking about. First Maccabees chapter 1, verse 1. And it happened that after Alexander, the son of Philip, the Macedonian, who came out of the land of Kittim, he came out of the land of Japheth, had smitten Darius, the king of the Persians, the king of the Persians and the Medes, the Medo-Persian Empire, but the Persians were actually the head, that he reigned in his stead the first over Japheth. Because the word Greece is, when you go back over here, Yaphan. So Hebrews chapter 30, Hebrews Strong, 31:20. 31:20. Japheth, Ionia Sea, like the Ionia Sea. I don't know if you know what that is, and Greece. So if you type in Ionia Sea, well, it says it right there. You don't even have to put the sea. Here, on this side is the Ionian Sea. Let me get it here. Oh, where did I put it? Oh, here, Ionian Sea. Can you see it? This is the Ionian Sea, Ionian Islands. And Japheth was here in Europe. Japheth was in Europe. Maybe I'll have a picture right here. Maybe it's this one. You got this one. That's not the one I'm looking for, actually. Oh, I don't have it here. Wait, then I think I have it here. Oh boy. Let me see something. I'm reading, sorry. Okay. No, can't find it. I can't find it. Okay, then what am I doing, bro? You know what? This one is good still. Let me see something. Sorry. I had another one actually. That was kind of good. Pretty good actually. But this is good too. Japheth was actually in Europe. But I have another one which shows you a little bit better with more colorings and stuff like that. These are just names. But it's good too. But I like to... You know what? Let me... Right, actually this one, where you could see, I think it's a little bit better. It might be a little bit overly crowded, but let me do this then. Oh no, this is the overly crowded one. Okay, cool. So, yeah. Here you have green, which is Japheth, and then you have the orange or reddish. I think it's orange, but you know, reddish orange is okay, whatever. It's Shem. And then Ham is here in Africa. But of course, you should understand that Cush, he came all the way here in Babel and then, well, in Shem land, and then he started Babel. Genesis chapter 10 shows you that. And he didn't come alone. He came with his people, but that's another story. And you can see that here. It's very simple here. Cush, twice as wicked Cush, was king of Mesopotamia, and that was way after Nimrod. That was way after Nimrod, you know. So yeah, way after. Okay, now go back over here. So the Ionian Sea, Greece, I just showed you. It's the same thing. It's right next to it. So that's Japheth, Japhan, but it's the son of Japheth. So he came out of Japheth, and this is why they say that Alexander the Greek, or the Greek, you know, he was a Japhetic people. That's why they say white people are Japheth, because it shows you here, because they show Alexander to be a so-called Caucasus Edomite, you know, Edomite, and then they put according to them, 2 and 2 together, but their 2 and 2 doesn't equal 4. It equals like 55 or something like that, because it's like 2 swans. So it equals 22 maybe, but they're upside down, so it equals 2 5s, so it's 55. But yeah, that's why they say all the Edomites are Japhet. This is one of the reasons why they say that, you know. But that's not the truth. Anyway, so now going back to over here. Numbers 24:24. And the ship shall come from the coast of Kittim, and shall afflict Ashur, which is the Assyrians, the descendants of Ashur, and shall afflict Eber, and he also shall perish forever. So when it says Eber, you'd be like, huh? So you're gonna kill Abar? Yeah, that's the people. They're gonna get messed up. They already got messed up, by the way, because this already happened. This was a prophecy, but the prophecy is not, how can I say, 100% of fulfilled, because this one didn't come to pass yet, but this one did. The Canaanites that will be wasted. And who are the Canaanites? The Canaanites are the Midianites that lived in a stable place. Their nest was on a rock, built on a rock, and that rock was Jacob. They were protected among us, and you can read about them here. The Most High did bless them eventually. I'm not going to go into everything. I'm just going to show you here the blessing for the Rechabites that they got from the Heavenly Father. Here you see the Rechabites. And then if you go to First Chronicles, maybe? First Chronicles chapter 2. These are the sons of Judah, right? Okay. All the way down until here. This is not Judah. 55. And the families of the scribes which dwelt at Jabez, which is in the land of Judah, the Tiratites, the Shemaites, and the Shuhites. These are the Kenites that came from Hemath, the father of the Rechabites. This is kind of confusing how it's written like that, but if you go to here, then you go to this map over here. This one. Now if you look closely, you will see here the word Hamath. Hamath in Naphtali, right? But here you can see Kadesh in Naphtali also. But if you go here, Judges 4, verse 11. Now Heber the Kenite, which was of the children of Howbeit, the brother-in-law of Moses, he's the brother-in-law. You can look it up for yourself if you want to. This is a mistranslation. If you look at the book of Exodus 18, let me get it for you. Exodus 2, and here you see the priest of Midian had 7 daughters, right? The priest of Midian, and he gave him Zipporah because he had 7 daughters, and one of the 7 daughters was Zipporah, and he gave Moses Zipporah, and he got a son named Gershom. And they thought it was a Mizraim. So they looked at Moses and they said, hey, this Mizraim guy, they thought he was the son of Ham when they looked at him, because of most likely his clothing, because he ran straight out of Pharaoh's house, which shows you that they're dark skinned. But anyway, going on. So he's the priest of Midian, and his name was Reuel. This was another language, because if you go to Exodus 18, it says, when Jethro, so this is his name, and this is a title. When Jethro, the priest of Midian, Moses' father-in-law, which is his name is Raguel, gave Zipporah to Moses as wife. But then if you go to Numbers 23, oh, was it 10? Numbers 10, 20, 9. Numbers 10:29. And Moses said unto Hobab, the son. So let me read on. And Moses said unto Hobab, the son of Raguel the Midianite. See, Raguel, that's the name in the what we spoke in our language. And Laban and Jacob also went through that, and even Rachel, but I'll get to that later. So Moses said unto Hobab, the son of Raguel the Midianite, Moses' father-in-law. So Raguel the Midianite is Moses' father-in-law. Okay. And Moses' father-in-law, the Midianite, had a son named Hobab. And who are the Midianites, you might ask yourself? They're not Ishmaelites. They're associated toward the Ishmaelites, just like how Benjamin is calling himself a Jew in the New Testament, because they came from the kingdom of Judah. So therefore he called himself a Jew. And also for the rest of the people, because they wasn't trying to be like, oh, so you're from this tribe and this tribe and this tribe. They just called them, you're a bunch of Jews. And same thing nowadays, when they see us from, for example, South America, Europe, America, and then West Africa, and they see us in one place, they would just call us all Africans. They don't have the time, nor want to just name you accordingly to where you come from. So they did that too in the old days. So therefore, Paul called himself a Jew. He's not lying. If you read 1 Kings 12, you will understand, like, oh, he's talking about that he's from the kingdom of Judah. That's what he's talking about. Because Benjamin belonged to Judah, Benjamin belongs to Judah according to the Heavenly Father's blessing that he gave Judah. And he said, I will take away all tribes from you except one. So only one is going to be joined forces with you. That's why often when you see, they will come up for each other. They will stick with each other. So to a certain degree, they will fight for one another. Because when you offend him, when you offend a Judah, you offend a Benjamin. Because they look at themselves as they're one. Right. Anyway. Okay, so Hobab is the son of Raguel. Okay, and the Midianites are, you can find that here. Oh boy. Midian. So the son of Abraham that he had with Keturah, one of the sons of Abraham, I should say. If you type in if you click on Hebrew 4080, it says here Midianite. So, here are the Midianites. So, what did Moses do? He took a wife of his forefathers' descendants. Same thing with Bethu. Same thing with Isaac and Rachel. And also with Jacob and Leah and Rachel. I'm sorry, what am I saying? Isaac and Rebecca, that one. And then Jacob and Leah and Rachel. And by the way, Abraham had the same thing too, but that's another story. Well, we kept it in the family. Yeah. It's all in the family. But anyway, these are the Midianites. And these are the Canaanites, because off of the Midianites, which is a whole entire family, just like, for example, just like the tribe of Judah. But then you have the bloodline of David. Well, Judah belongs to David, but the bloodline of David, that doesn't belong to every single individual bloodline that came from Judah. It only pertains to the bloodline of David, right? Because not everybody is of the bloodline of Yahushai. Well, actually the other way around. So when it says Yahushai is the seed of David, okay, he comes from the house of David. If you are David, his brother, Eliab, that's not the house of David. That's the house of Jesse. Yeah, I hope you understand what I just said. Right. So it was Judges 4:11. Now Heber the Kenite, which was of the children of Hobab, the brother-in-law of Moses, that is from the father-in-law of Moses, Howbeit. As well, yeah, he's the son of the father-in-law of Moses, that's the point. Had severed himself from the Canaanites, and pitched his tent in the plain of Zaanaim, which is by Kadesh. Zaanaim is in Naphtali. Well, you only see it there, but wait. Kadesh is Naphtali. Here. A place in Naphtali near Kadesh. Near Kadesh. Okay. So, that's this Kadesh in Naphtali. So where did the Kenites stay? He severed himself from the rest of the Kenites and he went to go live. Oh yeah, it's right. I didn't even see it, and I colored it red too. Anyway, Naphtali to Kadesh, but yeah. So he went to go live there, and he cut himself off from the rest of his people. Okay, from the rest of his family. So the Midianites are millions of people, but the Kenites is just one family out of the Midianites. You get that? Just like with the King David, there are millions of Judites, but there's only one bloodline of King. Well, there's only one house of David. You see? Which is all his children, by the way. But yeah, there was a chosen line within all the house of David. But yeah, that's another story. So, First Chronicles, I think, again, yeah, right? Yeah, First Chronicles chapter 2, verse 55, and the family, so this, okay, let me leave that. It says here, these are the Kenites that came from Hemath, the father of the house of Rechab. So now they're called Rechabites out of the Kenites. And therefore, if you go to the book of Jeremiah 35, it talks about them. It talks about the Kenites. Right. But my point is now back to over here. Number 24 and 21. And he looked on the Kenites and took up his parable and said, strong is thy dwelling place. Why? Because they stayed with the Israelites. And if you're with the Israelites, you're protected. Because that was the thing that Moses said unto them. He said, stay with us and the Lord will bless you also. Numbers 10:29. I already read that. Okay. We are journeying unto the place of which Yahweh said, I will give it thee, you. Come thou with us, and we will do thee good. For Yahweh had spoken good concerning Israel. But the point is, they were actually very stable in our midst. But when we fell and became slaves and stuff like that, they fell too. And thou puttest thy nest in a rock. Nevertheless, the Kenites shall be wasted until Ashur shall carry thee away captive. Anyway, so they got messed up too. So this already happened. But this portion did not happen because Amalek is still here. So a few of these prophecies did come to pass, but this one in particular did not. And also this one in particular also did not. And verse 18 also. So verse 17 did not come to pass fully. Wait, let me see. Wait, sorry. Yeah, this is talking about Yahushai. Well, eventually, because we did beat the Moabites, and the children of Sheth are the mighty men of Moab. You can read that here. I'm not going to go into it because I'm looking at the time already. You can read that here for yourself if you want to. Then what you need to pay attention in order for you to link this word Sheth onto this, which is this word here, you need to look it up in the Hebrew. Then you will see it's the same thing here. It's the tumultuous ones of Moab. Those were the top guys that people had problems with. People had problems with these ones, but we beat the shit out of them. But in the end, when Yahushua shall come, then this is going to be doubly, perfectly fulfilled. And Edom shall be a possession. We had them in captivity already, but this is still double fold. In the future, it's going to be 100%. Now this one we never did. We killed them off and we made them run away and stuff like that, but they were never perished. Like they never was exterminated. But this is talking about the latter times. This already happened. This already happened, but it's going to happen again. All these things, if it happened, it's going to happen again. And if it didn't happen, it's going to happen. Like the one which like the extermination of Amalek. Okay. So when you read that all the Ebers shall perish forever, well, it's talking about the rest of the people that come from Eber. So all the other Hebrews, that the Iberians, you could say, that are not Hebrew Israelites and stuff like that. And if you say, for example, that the Moabites are not Hebrews, the Moabites came from Haran. Oh, sorry. Yeah, Haran. Haran is the father of Lot. And Lot is the father of Moab. And then Ammon. So, Lot is a Hebrew. Just like his father, Haran. Just like their fathers. So, Abraham, Nahor, and Haran. Terah, Nahor again, Serug, Reu, Peleg, and that's it, and Eber. Okay, so that's that part. But, okay, now going back to over here. Aram, right? So when it says, so Genesis 25 and 20. And Isaac was 40 years old when he took Rebekah to wife, the daughter of Bethuel the Syrian. So it now makes you think. But I know that you already know because I showed you. And I think you know it already, So anyway, I'm just refreshing. And if it's not refreshing, because the scripture says that you already know this. So it's, but for the people that haven't, the ones that haven't seen it, so let me go on. It says right here, Genesis 25 and